Welcome to the playground of potential. I'm Matt the Poet, and this is my playground. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the law of diminishing returns and a concept that I call taking a break to break through. So, what is the law of diminishing returns? This sounds pretty fancy and sciencey and whatnot, and it is. It's a scientific term. But it's a pretty simple idea, is that you put more energy into a system, you get more energy out. And the thing about that is eventually in most natural systems, you come to a point where per unit of energy that you're putting in, you're actually getting less out than you did the last unit. And the more energy you put in, you get even less out. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, this was illustrated and brought to my attention quite beautifully from a friend of mine who's a server at a restaurant. And she said to a friend of hers, essentially, that she was constantly surprised because she would make about the same amount of money in 3 days as she would in 5. She's like, why is this happening? And this other friend of hers said to her, it's the law of diminishing returns. And yeah, it's a perfect illustration of that, because you would think 2 more days, 2 more units of energy being put into the system, you'd think that the money, the energy output that you would get would be comparable to, say, the first 2 days of energy that you put in. But it's not. You get less out. Why? Well, you get tired, After day 3, you're maybe not in the mood to serve as much as you were on day 1, It's like you haven't had that rest and relaxation and renewal that has allowed you to, recover your, great sense of communication and all these different things that a server needs in her tool belt or his tool belt to perform at optimal level. So as the week goes on, you get more and more tired, you kind of default to your weaknesses, and it doesn't produce as much output, more money in this case. So my suggestion to her was, why don't you just cut down to 3 days a week or 4 days a week, so you can recharge that energy and you're actually spending that energy on things that you really love to do. Another area where I see the law of diminishing returns illustrated is in my acro yoga practice. So I instruct acro yoga twice a week, pretty much every week. And one thing that I've noticed is that when I'm learning new moves to bring to my more advanced students, so I'm pushing my own limits in regards to my skill level. If I come across a move that I can't instantly get on the first try, I'm often faced with these moves at the end of a long class. So I'm already tired and I'm trying something that's maybe, a few percentage points outside my skill level, which is where we're developing into that threshold of novel experience. And I have a choice at that point. If I'm not getting it, I'll try and refocus, because, you gotta bring your A game to learning a new move. But if I'm constantly, after refocusing, still experiencing struggle with the move, I'll just stop. Because if I keep going, I'm just gonna get more tired. The limits on the move is probably physical. I'm just tired and I need some rest. And if I go further, I'm gonna program bad habits into myself. So the further I go, the worse it's probably gonna get. the law of diminishing returns is going to come forth in full force. So what do? I stop, give it up, and then 2 days later, in the next acro class, I'll come back to it. And what do I find in that experience over and over again is the first time I tried that move was better than the last time I tried that move. As in, it was better than every time that I had ever tried that move before, because the assumption is that each time I'm getting a little bit better, but I hit that law of diminishing returns and then drop off, and then I stop, So then I come back to it, and I'm actually better than all the times that I've done it ever. And it always surprises me, even though it shouldn't, because it's an obvious thing. The move has integrated into my body. I've taken a break to break through, okay? So not only am I coming at it with more energy, more rest and relaxation, I've renewed myself. Not only that, but I've also allowed the move to integrate into the body. This is an integral part of the learning process. Integral part of learning is taking a break to break through, giving yourself that moment of time to simply allow the move to sink in to the body, especially with a physical practice like this. It's incredibly useful and important to give yourselves those breaks. What happens in that break? Well, you sleep. And this is throughout our lives, that is the integration period of our life. So amongst the many things that we're doing in our sleep process, aside from simply renewing our energy, we're actually integrating the day's input. So like all the lessons that we've learned throughout the day becomes integrated into the body itself, into the physical level of our being. And giving yourself simply just one sleep cycle can drastically improve how much something that you're learning has sunk into your experience. And then it's no longer about, then it's all about embodiment. Because we can know things intellectually. I can know how to do a move intellectually. I can see it, I can visualize it, and yes, that's great. This expands into all arenas of our lives. Like, we can know what's best for us, but until we start embodying what is best for us. And what does that embodiment involve? It involves that integration moment of rest and sleep, and allowing it to truly sink into our being on a physical level, so we can bring it forth in an embodied practice. And this is so important. So where else can we point to in regards to the law of diminishing returns, and also where we can break through, take a break to break through? Well, I've seen this a great deal in my YouTube channel. So this is probably what, like, this current iteration of YouTube videos that I've been doing for the past month or so. I would call it the third iteration of Playground of Potential. I started to work on the process of becoming comfortable in front of the camera, sharing what I wanted to share. And then I took a break. And then I came back to it, and I came back a little bit better than I had left it, which was interesting. But it shouldn't surprise me. It always works this way. So yeah, and then I took another break after, working on the process of growing more and more comfortable. I came to a threshold point. I needed a break from it, and I took that break, and then I came back this third time. And what I found is I'm far more comfortable in front of the camera than I've ever been. and I stopped doing it. But it took that integration period for me to really learn the lessons, to fully integrate those lessons into my embodied practice, so I could come back feeling more comfortable than ever. And here I am, more comfortable than ever. Having more fun doing these videos than I ever have. And if I had just plugged away, kept grinding through the process when I clearly needed a break, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I took from March to October off. So we'll call it 7 months. I mean, certainly half a year at least off. And if I had worked through that entire half a year, I don't know that I would be where I'm at in regards to comfortability and performance, as I am having taken that time off to just allow it to sit and integrate. And, I might have been, and, you can argue about the amount of time of break that was actually necessary to like allow that to integrate. Who knows? I could have came back to it in June and found marked improvements. And so just play with that, this is all a playground of potential, But I can't emphasize enough how much it is necessary for us to step out of the do, young, masculine energy that our society demands of us so often, and step into the feminine, which is so often neglected. What is the feminine? The feminine is not do, it's rest, recover, renew. And suddenly we have our energy there, and then we can bring more energy to our doing. So integrate this idea of taking a break to break through into your life, and you'll find that you'll hit these plateaus and you'll blast up over and over again. And the limits to which you can rise to are infinite. So please, in the comments below, tell me how you've, interacted with the idea of the law of diminishing returns. Have you found that popping up in your life at all? And, tell me if you've tried to take a break and see if that works for breaking through. And yeah, let me know in the comments below your interaction with these concepts, because I really want to create a conversation around these things that I talk about, because I'm tired of only being the one talking. I want to hear from you guys. But sending you guys all so much love. Please hit the like button if you happen to like the video. And if you made it to this point in the video, you probably like the video. So share it with others and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, plenty more content to come. I'll see you next Friday for sure. I've got my offerings all on my website, playgroundofpotential.com. I've got my self-mastery sessions where I help work one-on-one with individuals, trying to guide them through the obstacles and challenges that they're experiencing in their life right now. Beyond that, I've got my poetry offerings. I've got typewritten poems on a topic of your choice that you can get as a gift to yourself or a gift to another. We're coming into that season of giving, so it's a perfect time to get a poem for someone that you love and cherish, and you want something really unique and special. I'd love to make that happen. Yeah. Check out the website for all the offerings. I got more. Superhuman Sunday is still going on. Check it out this Sunday. You can book a spot on my website. It goes from 4 to 5 Mountain Time, on Zoom. We're doing fun stuff over there. There's a lot of fun ways that we can uh, begin to play with our highest superhuman potential. And really, it's about going into the fundamentals of that transformational process into our highest and best. So check it out. If it intrigues you, check out the website, book a spot, and I hope to see you there. Yeah, till next time. Peace.